Hi guys, welcome to Australia for the first round of the Race Department GP2 series, Season 4. And as you can just about see, the lights are about to come on the grid. I qualified P12 because I didn't qualify. I was having dinner, and you can see I'm moving the camera around, still trying to sort it out as the lights go out, and I see, look at the revs, didn't even have any revs. By the time the lights came out, I clammed it pretty much perfectly, and I'm up to P8 already as there's a few cars that didn't move on the grid. And coming into the first corner, get through that alright, but this car's off already. Still sorting with the camera, and oh, I'm up to P3 holding on just about, and managed to come through that carnage somehow. Cars spinning everywhere, cars off in front of me, had nowhere to go really in the last bit. But I managed to come through and up to P3 after 2.5 corners, or 2 corners. Can't don't see how there's a half corner, but yeah. So I'm up to P3. Now chasing down Techno Elite. Got TNG behind me. Relegated from F1 last season. If you may remember, he was a champion of GP2 in my first season, in season 2. But now just trying to catch up to Techno Elite. Still fiddling the camera a little bit. Just trying to get a decent angle at the TV. And so yeah, TNG's caught me right up. It took me a while actually, a few laps to get used to the wet conditions again. I mean, I've done a bit of practice, but not anything major, only a few laps. As you see, I get a little bump from TNG from behind just as we enter the fast chicane, but thankfully it doesn't unsettle me too much. If anything, TNG dropped it back a bit from that as we come round into the last sector now. To finish the first lap, I'm still in P3, just about. And I was pretty pleased with that start, although I didn't really make a single proper overtake. It was mainly due to people being unfortunate and getting involved in accidents. But first round, all the excitement, and it's wet, which is a added bonus. So it was always likely to be a first corner accident, but I didn't expect there to be that many. As I go straight on at turn 1 on the second lap, and that will allow TNG to go round the outside, taking P4 now. So now I drop back to P4 even, and TNG takes P3. Now you see I've got Gunnar Gamble behind me, my teammate from season 2, who got promoted to F1 last season, but unfortunately got relegated again. But he's improved massively since season 2, so it'd be a challenge to keep him behind me and beat him this year. Although I doubt I will. But as you see, TNG goes straight on, and then he hits the wall, bounces, and I rode straight into the back of him. Had nowhere to go really. I thought when he bounced back onto the track he was going to go wide, so I thought it'd go down the inside. But it turned out not to be that way, and I just rammed him straight up the arse. But now onto lap 3, you got Gunnar Gamble right behind me. We're still in close proximity with TNG, but I go straight on a bit, and that allows Gunnar Gamble to slip up the inside into P4, and I'm back to P5. So I'm just going to try and keep with Gunnar Gamble. There's no DRS as it's raining. Just try and keep with him as he tries to make a mistake, and he does, and I'm through to P4 again. Also, you see TNG is moving defensive quite early, so I was thinking he must have got a bad exit out of the last corner too. As you see, I'm just going straight past him. He seemed to slow down quite a lot, very quickly on the straight, so maybe he's got a little problem, but I'm back up to P3. No sooner than I dropped back to P5. And you can see on the positions, he got Gunnar Gamble in P4 now, so he's obviously got past TNG straight away as well, so maybe TNG did have a problem. Not sure what it was, not sure what it could have been, but that's just what's happened. See, I went wide at turn 3, and that's allowed Gunnar Gamble to close up quite a bit. And I've gone straight on again, and Gunnar Gamble will sweep round the outside and take that P3 back. But onto lap 4, or further into lap 4, you see Gunnar Gamble go straight on, and I make the move and comfortably take P3. And now the Fusion HD's gone straight through as well, and he's closed me quite quick because we're only on half a lap later on T5, on lap 5 even. And going into that corner, which I can't remember what number it is, I go deep, and Fusion HD just drive straight past, and he took pole position, so that was good. He obviously had speed, but qualifying was in the dry, and he obviously had problems at the start of the race, and now he's just battling his way through again, so he's making good progress. but you can see now I've caught Techno Elite on lap 8, and Techno Elite was leading for the first few corners, I think, but he's dropped back to P3 now, and I'm challenging him for the final step on the podium, although it is, of course, quite early in the race still. As you see, Techno Elite runs wide, can't quite make the most of it, but he runs wide again, gets a bit out of shape, and I got a good exit at the last corner. Can I challenge him using the rest of my curves, getting on the slipstream a bit? As we breaking into the first corner, I get a bit of oversteer, massive oversteer in fact, and that allows Techno Elite to run away a bit, get a bit of breathing space, and I actually closed down Techno Elite quite quickly, so I assume he made a few mistakes, but then you see I grow into the gravel and make another mistake, and Techno Elite lives to fight another day. I was obviously pushing a bit too hard there, but as you see on lap 13 now, I've got Techno Elite still in front of me, but Gunner Gamble right behind me as he's having a look. He's caught up again and having a look down the inside, but can he make it stick into the third corner? No, I run a bit wide, and he's going to have the outside for the next T4. He goes around the outside, I give him room, and he makes the move stick, so great move by Gunner Gamble there, but we're coming on to the end of the lap 13 now. Towards the start of lap 14, you see Techno Elite is just in front of us. Something Gunner Gamble managed to close him down quite quickly. Whether or not that's due to mistakes or we had decent speed, I think probably a bit of both. But coming into the first corner now, braking. See, Techno Elite's gone wide, Gunner Gamble's gone wide, I've gone wide, but not as wide. But I'm going to have a good exit compared to the other two coming out of the first corner. See, two abreast going into the first corner or into the third corner even. And I back off a bit just so I don't run up the back of the other two. The other two go straight on. I tried to get the undercut and I hit Techno Elite, and he's into the wall. I get a penalty. I do wait for him, although I don't think it was really my fault. And I actually reported this to the stewards after the race. The first person to actually appeal a penalty now that rule is being allowed in the league, to appeal penalties because of the stupid penalty system by Codemasters. And yeah, recently just found out the results of that penalty decision. I'll let you know at the end of the race. So I let Techno Elite back through. You see I get a massive bit of oversteer coming out of that turn 5 or 6 or 7, I don't know, once I let it back past. But now, onto lap 20, Gunner Gamble was behind us again because he pitted for new tyres. And since about lap 14, I think it was, when my scheduled pit stop was, I was thinking how far can the tyres go, because at that point they weren't that badly worn. As you see, Gunner Gamble was having a look down the inside, but I was pretty confident he wasn't going to make the move there and hold on to the position. But I was considering pitting for pretty much every lap, thinking, can I make the tyres last till the end? Can I, or should I pit? Would I be faster by pitting? But as soon as Gunner Gamble caught me, I pretty much knew, right, this is the time to come in. I'm not going to be able to hold him off for the rest of the race. He's got fresh tyres, I've got worn tyres. So I'm just going to come in and, yeah, just see what happens, I suppose. So as I come into the pits, Gunner Gamble goes past me, and into the pits I come, putting on a new set of wet tyres, full wet tyres. Definitely not intermediates, or definitely not slick option weather tyres. So coming out of the pits, you see Ryback's just gone past me. So I've dropped down to 6th, and now putting up the fuel mixture to standard again. As annoyingly, the game put me on plus 7 laps of fuel, even though I asked for normal, which would have been plus 3. So the game overfueled my car for some reason. But as we come into turn 3, I go straight on, completely mucking up that braking point. It's not even as if the tyres are cold, because they're not on when you've got the wets on. But as you see, just in the distance, you got Techno Elite just in front of me. He's just also pitted a lap later. And so he goes around turn 3 and actually successfully makes it, unlike me. So he did a better job than I did. And it turns out that after the race, he said that he was waiting for me to pit before he did. So, yeah. But as you see, Ryback just goes straight on to gravel there, locked up and went straight on. So that's us up another position. As we storm past Miz to lap him, into the fast right-hander, and I'm challenging Techno Elite now for P4. Gunningham was pretty much out of the way and secured P3. As I challenge Techno Elite as he goes a bit deep, go around the outside. Techno Elite forces me a bit wider than I would have liked, but that's racing. As he defends the inside line, I take a normal line but can't quite make the move. As we run to lap 24 now, breaking into turn 3, I could try making it round the outside, which I knew was never going to happen. But I was kind of just hoping Techno Elite would run deep and I could get a cutback, but that wasn't the case. As we run through the fast right-hander again, flat out, down to the end of the first sector, braking hard. Not too hard to lock up though, as I kind of cut the corner a little bit, but not too much. As Techno Elite's taken the inside, gone a bit deep, and it looks like he's weaving a bit to me, so I back out of that and try and get the cut back on the next straight, which I do quite well actually. Using some curves, probably could have used a bit more, but Techno Elite defends the position again and still holds on to his P4 position. As we come through the fast right, left right, and Techno Elite actually gets away quite a bit there. But onto lap 25 into the first corner, I'm braking, and I get a good exit compared to Techno Elite, who was actually my teammate at the start of last season, if you remember. But we're challenging him into T3 as I think he's moving a bit more, and he goes straight on, and I take the move as I kind of duck out the first one and go for the second, or the normal line. It actually turns out that I did actually tap him on, but I think that was an invisible box issue there. As you see on the last lap, the Fusion HD wins. So he won the first race of the season. Nice victory for him, coming from the back of the grid almost, as you see across the line. And there are the results. And although the penalty did move me down to 5th after the race, the penalty was actually removed, so I'm actually back up to P4. So that was a nice result for me. But thanks anyway guys for watching, hope you enjoyed, and join me for whenever I'm racing again. See ya. Bye.